Fox 32 has information indicating the FBI has launched an investigation into controversial Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard.
Dane Placco has been following allegations of her misspending and joins us now with an update. Dane.
The store came here to the gas station. It's on his live. All the evidence is on this boy's live. He said, "Oh, I got him now. I'm gonna pull up now," and jump out. He jumped off the car. He was recording him with his phone. Walked up to our car, and then we was bagging out. We pulled over right here, and it should be on their cameras too.
Millions of dollars hidden away. A lavish lifestyle built on lies, and now the downfall everyone's been waiting for. Tiffany Henyard, the so-called super mayor, has finally surrendered after a shocking FBI raid uncovered her darkest secret. While her town drowned in debt, she was living like royalty. Her jet-setting, high-rolling lifestyle, funded by taxpayer money, is now crashing down, and she's facing up to 25 years behind bars. This is the scandal that will blow the lid off everything. Tiffany Henyard, once the untouchable super mayor of South Chicago, now faces 22 federal charges. But this isn't your average corruption case. This is millions of dollars in taxpayer money, allegedly mishandled and hidden. The FBI had been watching her for months, and after subpoenas and behind-the-scenes whispers, they finally made their move. What hits hardest is that this isn't her first run-in with the law. Before, it was for vehicle trespassing. Now, the charges are so severe that serious prison time is almost guaranteed. Tiffany Henyard didn't care, not about the residents of Dolton, Illinois, and certainly not about the town's finances. While her city crumbled, she was parading around in a taxpayer-funded motorcade, flaunting her power as if Dolton were her personal playground. Wait until you hear how Henyard turned Dolton's funds into her personal shopping spree. How does a town go from being financially secure to nearly broke in just 1 year? 2 words: mayor moneybags. Tiffany wasn't just living large. She was living double extra large on Dolton's dime. Picture this: a $7,700 shopping spree at Target, Walgreens, and Wayfair, all in one day, September 1st, 2023. That's not retail therapy. That's a full-on shopping assault. And guess who footed the bill? That's right, the hard-working taxpayers of Dolton. And Mayor Henyard wasn't about to fly coach like the rest of us. No, she lived the first-class life. But why stop at luxury flights? Tiffany even hired a professional hair and makeup team because apparently running a town into the ground requires looking fabulous 24/7. You might be wondering, how bad could it really be? Well, in just 1 year, Henyard's administration managed to rack up over $12,000 in travel expenses. Dolton went from having a healthy $5.6 million surplus to being $3.6 million in debt, all in 1 year. While Dolton was going broke faster than a contestant on a game show, Henyard was living like a real housewife of Illinois. The public outrage was so intense, they actually had to ban Henyard from using the village credit cards for unapproved purchases. Imagine being the mayor and having your allowance cut off. You thought the spending spree was wild. Buckle up, because we're about to take a detour down Mama Henyard's driveway. And let me tell you, it's paved with more than just good intentions. Turns out she wasn't just treating herself. She was spreading the love to her family too. And by love, I mean a whole lot of taxpayer cash. Over $561,000 was spent repaving her mother's driveway. You heard that right. Over $500,000 for one driveway. But Henyard didn't stop at family renovations. Nope, she decided the town's police force could double as her personal security team. Because why patrol the streets when you've got a mayor to chauffeur around? While the good people of Dolton wondered where all the police had gone, Henyard had them running personal errands, as if they were her
to
own
engage
private
with the
task
media
force.
or address the
One
concerns
former
of
police
Dolton's
chief
grocery
even spilled
shopping,
the tea on her
chauffeuring,
misdeeds.
We needed those officers to be on the street fighting crime. And instead, we have several officers that are riding around protecting.
Tiffany Henyard, once the super mayor of Dolton, Illinois, is now in the hot seat, facing an overwhelming scandal that has exposed her luxurious lifestyle and alleged misuse of taxpayer funds. From lavish parties to extravagant spending, Henyard's reign has shocked and outraged a town already struggling to stay afloat. But now, the town of Dolton is finally seeing the woman at the center of it all face justice. This story, filled with deceit, cover-ups, and millions of dollars in questionable expenditures, is one for the books. Henyard's position as mayor gave her incredible power, but instead of focusing on improving the lives of her constituents, she allegedly turned Dolton into her own kingdom, using the town's finances like her personal piggy bank. While the residents of Dolton faced mounting debt, crumbling infrastructure, and services that were barely functioning, Henyard lived large. She surrounded herself with a taxpayer-funded security detail and attended high-profile events as though she were a celebrity rather than a public servant. But all that came crashing down when the FBI launched an investigation that would uncover the real story behind Henyard's glamorous life. For months, the FBI had been watching her, and after subpoenas and whispers behind closed doors, they finally decided to act. The shocking part? This isn't Henyard's first run-in with the law. She was previously arrested for vehicle trespassing, but the charges she faces now could land her in prison for up to 25 years. These are not minor infractions. Henyard is being accused of mishandling millions of dollars in taxpayer money, hiding it away, and spending it frivolously on herself and her circle of allies. What's truly outrageous is the way she continued to act as if nothing was wrong, even when the Illinois State Comptroller cut off her spending privileges. Instead of pulling back and showing some fiscal responsibility, Henyard threw one of the most lavish parties Dolton had ever seen. This wasn't just any party. It was a spectacle that cost $50,000 for just an hour of entertainment. At this grand event, Henyard hired stars like Keek Wyatt and Jay Holiday to perform. Wyatt was paid $30,000 for a 30-minute set, while Holiday earned $20,000 for the same amount of time. But that was just the tip of the iceberg. She also spent $36,000 on sound systems, staff, equipment, and comedians. To top it all off, she blew $6,600 on bounce houses. Yes, bounce houses. All while her town was spiraling deeper into debt. The extravagance didn't sit well with Dolton's residents. Jennifer Roberts, a resident, expressed her frustration, telling WGN9, "That's my money. That's the people's money." Former trustee Valeria Stubbs didn't hold back either, calling the event a flop, with only about 70 people attending. Stubbs was rightfully outraged, saying, "She likes to use our tax dollars to promote herself." For a town that was already struggling financially, this kind of reckless spending was a slap in the face. But if you thought that was the end of it, think again. While the residents were reeling from Henyard's extravagant spending spree, a much bigger plot was unfolding behind the scenes. Enter Carmen Carlisle, Henyard's former right-hand woman and personal assistant. For years, Carlisle had been quietly working alongside Henyard, watching every move and seeing firsthand the financial misdeeds taking place. She was the one who knew where all the secrets were buried, figuratively speaking, of course. What no one expected was that Carlisle would flip. Maybe she had a change of heart, or maybe she just couldn't stand by anymore while Dolton was being drained of its resources. Whatever her reasons, Carlisle decided to go to the FBI with a treasure trove of evidence. She had receipts, literally and figuratively, that painted a shocking picture of how Henyard was running the town. Carlisle's whistleblowing wasn't just about financial mismanagement. She detailed how Henyard manipulated employees, vendors, and residents to increase her influence, all while projecting an image of success that was built on the backs of Dolton's hardworking taxpayers. In Carlisle's own words, for the past 2 years, Henyard has manipulated employees, vendors, and residents, using her position to increase her influence, all while projecting a false image of success funded by the hardworking taxpayers of Thornton Township and the village of Dolton. As Carlisle began to talk, the pressure mounted. But instead of facing a backlash on social media or in the press, Carlisle was physically attacked. No one could definitively point fingers, but rumors swirled that Henyard might have had a hand in the assault. this wasn't just a case of hurt feelings. Carlisle's safety was at risk. Carlisle wasn't the only one jumping ship either. Keith Freeman, Henyard's former aide, was also in hot water. Freeman is facing charges of bankruptcy fraud, and rumors suggest that he, too, has been talking to the FBI. It seems the walls were closing in on Henyard from every side. Throughout her time as mayor, Henyard was known for silencing trustees and intimidating anyone who tried to expose her shady dealings. When firing them didn't work, she spent taxpayer dollars to keep herself in the spotlight. Literally. Her face appeared on billboards, in government buildings, and in other prominent places, as though she were the star of some dystopian reality show. The damage wasn't just financial, though. Lives were being destroyed. Survivors of Henyard's misconduct started speaking out, sharing heartbreaking stories of financial ruin and the intimidation tactics used to keep them quiet. This wasn't just corruption. It was a reign of terror that left Dolton in ruins. As the FBI continued to investigate, the extent of Henyard's spending became clear. They weren't just interested in her official business dealings. They started digging into her personal life, too. That cancer charity she so proudly touted. Under the microscope. Her political action committee? The feds wanted to see those books, too. Even her private business ventures were being scrutinized. It was as if the FBI was playing connect the dots with Henyard's finances, and the picture they were drawing wasn't pretty. As the investigation heated up, so did the residents' anger. Trustee Brittany Norwood expressed the frustration of the town, saying, "We have been asking for someone to come out here and save us. There has been a lot of spending that we're not really privy to, and we've been asking for answers." Henyard had turned Dolton into a financial disaster, with debt nearing $20 million. But it wasn't just about the money. Allegations of sexual misconduct, wrongful terminations, and even accusations of sexual assault against employees began to surface. Henyard's once untouchable reputation was crumbling, and her grasp on the town was slipping. Then, just when it seemed like things couldn't get worse for her, Henyard pulled the ultimate twist. After months of acting as if nothing was wrong, she walked into the FBI's office and turned herself in. The move left everyone in shock. Why would a woman so obsessed with her image and power suddenly choose to surrender? Speculation immediately began. Some believed she was trying to cut a deal, offering to spill the tea on her political allies in exchange for leniency. Others thought she might be protecting someone higher up in the political food chain. Whatever her reasons, Henyard's surrender was a game changer. For the people of Dolton, Henyard's downfall was long overdue. They have been watching their town crumble under her leadership, and now, finally, they were seeing a ray of hope. But Henyard's surrender doesn't mean the town's problems are solved. Dolton is still facing a massive financial crisis, with millions of dollars missing and no clear path to recovery. The Illinois State Comptroller had already cut off state payments to the town, halting $135,000 that Dolton desperately needed. Henyard, who once spent $440,000 on Amazon in a single day, left the town in shambles, and residents are wondering if they'll ever see that money again. As if that weren't enough, Henyard is also facing a lawsuit from former employee Dwayne Thrash, who claims he was fired for refusing to go along with one of Henyard's schemes. Residents, fed up with the corruption, are now turning to outsiders for help, even calling in former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot to help clean up the mess. With Henyard behind bars, Dolton is left picking up the pieces, but the fight isn't over yet. The FBI is still investigating, and there are rumors that Henyard's inner circle might be implicated as well. The drama is far from over, and the people of Dolton are watching closely to see what happens next. So, what's next for Dolton? That's the million-dollar question. The town has a long road ahead, but for the first time in a long time, there's hope. With Henyard out of the picture, Dolton can finally begin to heal. The queen of corruption may have left the building, but the town's fight for justice is just beginning. Let us know your thoughts, and don't forget to watch the next video to find out more.